Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Giselle and I review fragrances. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I hope you like my content and consider subscribing. That way you will help me grow my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your constant support. So guys, today I have part 2 of my 10 notes and 10 matching scents. But the first one was a niche edition and this is a mainstream edition where I have found more affordable options for you. So if you are interested in seeing more, stay tuned. So let's get started with my first note in no particular order, but I try to respect the same order as I did my first video. So the first one is Gardenia, my favorite flower. And the fragrance that I found, aside from the niche one I already showed, which was Le Wild, but the fragrance that I found in the mainstream category that represents Gardenia like 100% is Forever Florals. This is a fragrance I discovered in a trip to Hawaii, and this is like a fresh black gardenia. It's the same as I told you about Le Wild, but this is, I kid you not, I think I paid 14 bucks for this. It's amazing. It's a little bit harsh in the opening, a little bit heavy on alcohol. In the gardenia, it's pure gardenia. You don't smell like the heavy tuberose here. You don't smell jasmine. You just smell gardenia, trust me. And the good news is that after I ran out of the first bottle, I could buy a second one on Amazon. So Amazon has it. Well, sometimes it's sold out because they sell pretty quick. It's pretty affordable. I think, as I said, I paid $12.14. I think Amazon sells it for 18 or 20, something like that, but still very affordable. It lasts like 4 to 6 hours. And the thing is, it is so inexpensive that you can respray all day if you want. But it's a super feminine, linear, simple fragrance. It won't change. It will stay like this. What you smell from the bottle, it's so strong that you can even smell it without even spraying it. And it will stay like that on your skin all the time it lasts. And yeah, it's an amazing fragrance. It's absolutely beautiful. This is a fragrance I keep buying on repeat because it's so real that you can't imagine. For 12 bucks, you can ask for more. And honestly, it's the first gardenia, aside from Le Wild, it's the first gardenia, real gardenia that I've tried. I'm always in the hunt for gardenia because it's a flower I absolutely adore, and this is the best. So my second favorite note is passion fruit, and I have found the perfect passion fruit fragrance for you in the mainstream category, which is Juicy Couture. This is the original one, the original Juicy Couture. It's none of the other flankers are similar to this. Honestly, I think this is the only Juicy Couture fragrance that doesn't smell cheap or so extreme synthetic to me. This is beautiful. I love it. I have a big bottle, as you can see, which is rare. This is a white floral, sweet, aquatic, fruity fragrance. It has caramel, it has creme brulee, which gives this fragrance a touch of gourmand vibes. It also has vanilla. It's a very beautiful fragrance. It has green apples, of course, passion fruit. It also has watermelon. I think it has, I said it has patchouli. Beautiful. It also has lily. It's very creamy, very sexy. It's sweet, but it's not sickly. It's not cloying. Super sexy. Men love this, really. Honestly, I think this is the only Juicy Couture I like, and it doesn't really smell cheap. And lasting power, it's pretty amazing. It's super affordable and great lasting power. It has great projection, massive compliment getter, especially from men. Men love this, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. A really nice representation of such a gorgeous and delicious fruit as it is the passion fruit. Yeah, Juicy Couture, the original one. So my other favorite note is caramel, and the perfect caramel fragrance I found for you is Casablanca by Swiss Arabian. I already talked about this fragrance before. This is one of those cases, and I said this before and I will repeat it over and over again. This is one of the cases when if the fragrance would cost more, I would still pay for that because it's gorgeous. I love it. Love it. It has green apples and grapes, which are very, very prominent, even without even spraying that. You can smell it. Green apples, it has grapes, as I said, white woods, it has patchouli. White woods is actually, it's also called blonde woods, and it's used in perfumery sometimes to recreate like a cozy feeling similar to musk. It's just that it won't give you that being on a cloud type of feeling, but it kind of gives the fragrance that type of coziness. Beautiful, gorgeous fragrance. It also has patchouli, it has amber. It's like creme brulee in a bottle, as I said before. I'm consistent with what I say because it is what it is. This smells to me like creme brulee in a bottle. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It's very sweet. It's very musky as well. Lasting power all day. To me, this smells niche. Swiss Arabian has like amazing, amazing fragrances. I might like some, I might not like others. However, I have to give them credit because they do deserve this credit, that they make amazing fragrances, super affordable, and you get niche quality, sometimes for even less than a celebrity fragrance. You have to try this if you like sweet fragrances, if you like super gourmand fragrances, but not cloying ones, if it makes sense. And this doesn't smell cheap at all. I always say that it's very difficult to create a super sweet fragrance without smelling cheap. And Swiss Arabian really nail it with this one and with all what they do. It's an amazing fragrance. Go for it. Casablanca, at least get a decant if you like sweet gourmand fragrances, because this is absolutely stunning. So guys, now you know that I love leather in fragrances, especially suede, and I have found the perfect mainstream designer fragrance that has leather in the composition, and it's David Yurman limited edition. This is a gorgeous rose leather combo, but leather is the most prominent one. This is a unisex fragrance, although I think it leans more feminine. It has coriander, it has saffron, thyme rose, it has sandalwood, it has musk as well. It's a delicious fragrance. This fragrance screams winter nights. The colder the month, the colder the night, the better this baby will perform. It's a super stunning fragrance. It's velvety, it's decadent, it's very rich, it's very opulent, massive compliment getter, sillage is out of this world. It lasts all day or all night. It's definitely a nighttime fragrance. It's very elegant, it's very classy, but it's very edgy and contemporary at the same time. I absolutely, absolutely love this fragrance. Get a decant. This is not a safe blind buy. Even if you like rose, if you like leather, and if you like the combo rose leather, still this is not a safe blind buy. So I highly recommend you to get a decant or a sample and try it. It's an amazing, amazing fragrance. It has such a character, super strong personality. This is not for the faint of heart at all. I love it. I adore this fragrance. David Yurman limited edition. Now, I'm sorry. This is, again, the limited edition, because the original one, it's all gold, and it also comes in a clear, transparent bottle. It has to be the red one. There's only one in this color. I think it's even discontinued. I don't know. Make sure you try the red one, not the gold one. The gold one is amazing, but it's a totally different fragrance. Not even comparable. My other favorite note, sandalwood. I love anything sandalwood, and I think I have found the perfect one in the mainstream category, which is Santal Cardamome by Fragonard. Fragonard is a totally underrated, unfortunately underrated house. It is a French house. It's located in Grasse, in the south of France, in the Riviera, and it's Grasse is the world capital of the perfume industry. And they make amazing fragrances. I already made a video. I'll link the video here, up here, or up here. I always confuse. But they make amazing, amazing fragrances, and this is no exception. This is a very different sandalwood. This is a woody, warm, spicy type of sandalwood. Very strong on spices, on cardamom. That's why that's the name actually, Santal Cardamome. It's beautiful. It has cardamom, of course, pepper. It has incense, and it has sandalwood. It's very balsamic as well. It has benzoin, which gives some sweetness to it. It has musk. It's not scratchy. It's not harsh, but it's not your typical creamy, almost lactonic, soft type of sandalwood. It's not, nothing like that. This is actually, I think this leans more masculine than feminine. It's beautiful. I think this is something that you could wear even to work because you won't annoy anyone. It's very dry. It's a dry sandalwood. If you go light on your sprays, I think this could even be an office safe type of fragrance. It has pretty good lasting power. I would say around 6 hours. I like more creamy. I like the creamier type of sandalwoods. I like the more lactonic type, the more muskier type. But nevertheless, this is an amazing fragrance as well. It's very, very rich. It's very rich, very well done. Fragonard uses like super, super good quality ingredients. Everything they do, it's top notch. They are pretty affordable. And I think you can even buy here in the US. They have a US site as well. Yeah, give it a try. Santal Cardamome by Fragonard. So guys, you know the other note I love, if you watch my previous video, is orchid. The problem is that I couldn't find in my collection one single orchid fragrance in the mainstream category. Actually, orchid is a very special note because it's a synthetic note. As I explained before, it's both the gardenia and the orchid flowers are super fragile and they are very delicate, so it's not possible to extract the oil in the standard processes where the oil is extracted from flowers. So it has to be recreated in the lab. And the only real orchid fragrance I found was the one I reviewed before, which is Orchid Bloom. None of the orchids in the market, none of them, I love Tom Ford, but his black, purple, whatever orchid that he has, none of them really smells like orchid. And I'm not talking just about Tom Ford. Any fragrance in the market that I have smelled, they don't smell like orchid to me. And that's why I haven't included here, because I couldn't find, neither in the market nor in my collection, a mainstream fragrance that truly smells like orchid. So I have to cheat here, and I have subbed the orchid note by another note that I love, which is musk. The perfect musk is Pure Musk by Narciso Rodriguez. This is musk on steroids, guys. If you like musk, if you like that feeling of being sitting on a cloud, you have to try this. It's beautiful. It's, to me, this is like 100% musk. It's a musky fragrance. It lasts about 4 hours. It's a great, great fragrance. It's beautiful. Very, very beautiful. It's very feminine. It's slightly powdery, not like your baby powder type, but it's slightly powdery. Very, very feminine. It's one of my bedtime fragrances. I actually made a video about that. This is something I spray on my pillows because it really helps me sleep. Of course, I spray it on myself as well. It also has cashmeran, which is a synthetic note recreated in the lab to give you that feeling of feeling cozy when you are wrapped up with a cashmere scarf. It's called cashmeran. It's also called blonde woods or even white woods. This is what this has. So wherever you look at this, it is a musky fragrance. Beautiful, beautiful. If you don't like musk, you have to stay away from this because this is musk on steroids, as I said before. But if you do like musk, I think there's nothing better than this. Absolutely beautiful. So my other favorite note is oak moss, because I always tell you that oak moss makes fragrances dewy, and I love that type of feeling. And guys, this is a beauty. This is mainstream, but let me tell you, this is niche quality. Soir de Lune by Sisley. I love Sisley, as you might have noticed. I have quite a few of their fragrances. They are super high quality, niche quality. This fragrance is super refined, as everything they do. Super, super refined, very elegant, very classy. It has spices like pepper, coriander. It has a little bit of everything. It has iris, it has lemon, it has bergamot. This is a floral, fruity, chypre fragrance. And interestingly, it has honey and oak moss as base notes. However, those are the notes that are most prominent in this fragrance, and you will smell them. you know, even without spraying, you will smell the honey and you will smell the oak moss. It's it's a very dewy fragrance. And I think Sisley knows how to do this. This is absolutely stunning. This fragrance is a class act as well. And I absolutely adore this. It has coriander, as I said, but coriander is not really, nutmeg, but they are not really prominent here. I think spices in this fragrance provide some spark, but that's it. That's it. I smell the honey and I smell the oak moss. The entire time this fragrance will last on your skin, will smell honey and oak moss. At least that is what I get on my skin. But it's very, even without spraying, you can tell there's honey here and oak moss, of course. Delicious. Soir de Lune by the House of Sisley. My other favorite note is quince. I know I'm cheating here. The problem is that same as before, I don't have an orange blossom fragrance in my collection that could be placed in this mainstream category. So I had to switch up some notes, and I wanted to sub that one, the orange blossom, for another note that I love, which is quince. I actually love the fruit. I live here. I already baked this like a couple months ago, but I took a picture because most people don't know how quince even smells, or how, even needless to say, how it tastes. It's a very syrupy, you can't eat it raw, you have to bake it or cook it somehow, and it turns out like super syrupy, and it gives fragrances like an amazing smell. And the fragrance that has quince in the composition that I adore in the niche category is Pas Ce Soir by BDK, and as a mainstream one, this one by Henri Bendel, Sweet 712. Unfortunately, Henri Bendel, a famous department store, after 100 years, they closed their door, or even more than 100 years, they closed their doors forever. So the only way to find this is online, probably on eBay. I don't know. I purchased this like years ago, maybe 4 years ago or so. It's delicious. Very nice, very classy fragrance. It has quince, of course, it has bergamot, it has iris, it has musk, it has sandalwood, it has suede. So it has two or three of my favorite notes. The dry down, it's definitely suede and quince. It's delicious. Sillage is really good, projection is really good, and lasting power, it's really good. Guys, I love aquatic notes. Anything ozonic, marine, aquatic, I'm all in for that. And I have found the perfect fragrance for you, which is Laila, the Essence of Norway by Geir Ness. What a beautiful fragrance. It's fresh, it's juicy, it has lavender, but the lavender here is not like room spray lavender. No, nothing like that. You barely smell the lavender here. It's a floral, fruity, fresh fragrance. It also has watermelon. It's very clean. It's very crisp. Look at this bright. Yeah, very crisp, very invigorating, super aquatic, very juicy as well. I remember I wore this to an event, and I remember there was a lady that was literally like stalking me, walking behind me all the time, and finally we met at the buffet, and she approached me and she said, "You have to tell me what you're wearing. I keep on smelling you all the time since you first entered the room in, and I'm sorry I've been following you all the time, but I need to know what that is." It was this one. It was for an event at Lune. And yeah, it's a perfect fragrance for daytime, especially in the summer months. Gosh, it's divine, really divine. I remember when they first launched this, the only way to get it was in Epcot Center at the Norway Pavilion. But now you can get it everywhere. Now it's easy accessible, and it's pretty affordable. I'm not quite sure how much I paid because I bought it like maybe last year. But it's an affordable option, absolutely stunning. It's in the same category of l'Odyssée, for example, and all those type of aquatic fragrances, or if you remember fragrances from the 90s as well, like Cool Water by Davidoff. This goes along those lines. It's very similar. It's amazing, beautiful fragrance. Very clean, very crystalline, beautiful. So another note that I absolutely love is vanilla. who doesn't like vanilla, right? Everybody loves vanilla, right? Almost everybody. And the fragrance I have in my collection that I love is Guerlain Intense. Actually, I like this much better than the original Guerlain. I love it. It has actually two types of vanilla. It has Tahitian vanilla, it has Madagascar vanilla, it has rose, it has bergamot, it has sandalwood. Oh, it's delicious. Delicious. It has jasmine sambac as well. It has benzoin. It has musk. Slightly gourmand as well. It has patchouli. It has licorice. I'm not a big fan of licorice in fragrances, but on my skin, I can't even identify the licorice. I can't even smell it. Yeah, it's very sweet, slightly gourmand, slightly powdery, ultra feminine. I like it much better than the original one. As I said, to me, it smells better. The fragrance is nicer. It performs better. Projection is better. It has a better lasting power. It's an amazing fragrance. It also has lavender, although lavender here is not really prominent. It's not like in the first one, like the original, you can smell the lavender more than here. Here, I think with so much sweetness, like the two types of vanilla, the benzoin, and also it has coumarin. The coumarin can be, it's a note that it's very polarized. It can be either herbal, or it can be herbal dry, or it can be sweet and gourmand. And I think here it pulls a little bit the sweet and gourmand side of it. Very nice, very beautiful, ultra feminine. There's nothing that I can add to what already has been said about this fragrance, but this is my take on it. I love it. I adore it. It's a mainstream fragrance, but I don't care. I like it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my 10 notes and the 10 matching scents in the mainstream category. Hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, let me know in the comments below if you have any of these fragrances, if you want to try any of these fragrances, anything spark your interest. I would love to hear from you. I am super interactive with my audience. I love when you ask questions, and I will always be there answering you. So please guys, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.